I do not know what happened there, but it decided to crap out on me. But put that up a little bit. Sweet, so shove that for there. And yeah, basically you've just got to get these lined up. Wherever that is. That's there. I know my big old hands are in the bloody way. So I mean, I kind of found how to put this on. I saw that little hole, and that little tab on the gasket was pointing like down there. And then I saw that, and I was like, "Oh, that looks about right to me." So that's the way it's gonna go. And I need, and then you can get that little brass. If I can get it. The screws are in the way. Sorry if I'm taking forever. Come here. There we go. Then get this little bar thing. Try not to drop it down the crack of your deck. Or more or less a ramp, either or other. And then that's your float. Hook or upper thingy. Float pin, that's what it's called. And then you just get your float like that down, hoping that it doesn't go anywhere. And then see that little plastic thing? They usually aren't plastic, but I'm guessing that's just on little engines. But I've watched more videos on old Fords, so that's usually a piece of metal and a few other bits and pieces. But shove that in there. Get that little bar thing, and then you shove that in there. I can't get past it. There we go. And then make sure that doesn't fall out again, because that holds your float in place. That little bar thing. These are actually pretty simple carburetors. I haven't properly taken the float off or anything. But what I had trouble with when I first pulled this apart was getting the float, the bowl and everything else, the rest of the carburetor back on. That didn't like going back on and lining up, which is a pain in the ass, and I think it's doing it again now. That's no, yes, it's on right. It's just it doesn't like lining up too well because of that little that little nozzle thing is your main jet, and that goes up into where your throttle plate is. So it's got to try and get it in there, and there's probably a little slot that it has to slide in or something or other, which I can't see. But yeah, go in there. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if I'm doing it wrong, but I see what it's catching. It's catching the float on the gasket, I think. Come on. God dang it. Hold on. No, I'm not on the gasket. Do it now. Good. There we go. I think. Oop. Things fly. That's not a fly, that's something else. And just stick it like that. Yes. Need to go a little bit further back. It doesn't want to do that. That's probably the float catcher or something or other. Because I know that's the way it goes. That's the way it came off, and the way it came on, went on, sorry. Yeah, float's hitting back walls. Oh, there we go, I think. Yep, there we go. Those holes are lined up now. Now, I think those holes are mostly lined up now. So, yeah, it usually takes a little bit of get in there, but then you just get your little screws that hold the carburetor together. These are flathead. Well, originally they were flathead, but and these are well, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure these are original. So this is 95% sure this is the original carburetor. So I'm kind of trying to make sure you've got a half decent view, but you know, look at it at the same time to see what I'm doing. That's a little hard to get. Ah shit, I think that's cross-threaded that a little bit. It doesn't extremely help that the threads aren't the greatest. I'll pause you there and I'll come back to you when I've got the screws in. And I've put those screws in. That took me about probably 2 minutes. But one of them didn't like going in there. So yeah, that'll be half the reason why it took me so long. But I mean, the choke and everything is working fine. Before I put it back together, I'll probably dump a little bit of oil, just, you know, around with my little oil can, just to, you know, just to keep everything from rusting and just stuff like that. I think that might be a mixture screw, so. And when you take these out, it's good to count how many times you've twisted it. So, and yeah, I kind of forgot that until I started twisting it. So that's why I twisted it on a little bit. So, and that's got a little bit of gunk on it. So I'll just, you know, give that port a little bit of a clean out. Four and a half, 5. So 4.5, 5 turns that took to get that out of there. And you don't really want to lose that screw, so, you know, kind of keep it somewhere half safe. Me, that's just in one of the things on the sump cover. Now I'm just going to give it that, you know, gonna give it a little bit of pour a little bit of a spray out, and just because I'm nice, I'll give the spring a bit of a clean. So I'll come back in 3, 2, yeah. I've cleaned that little spring out, so now there's not all dirt and gunk and whatever was hanging around in there. And now I'll get your old big can of carburetor cleaner, not that you have a lot of brake parts cleaner, sorry. I'll probably see carburetor cleaner. thousands of times, but I'll just get that out and try and mess around with the camera a little bit to try and get a half decent angle, even though there's like no angle. Fine, and then move that out my way. And you can't see it, can you? There we go. That port there, that's where that screw came out of, so I'm just gonna give that a bit of a spray. So I would show you, but it's kind of hard to do that while you're on the bloody ground and I don't have a big tab thing. Sweet, so I've cleaned that little port out. If I can find my camera's in it. That little port there out, so now I'm just gonna get that screw, and just because I may as well, I'm just gonna give it a bit of a spray. Now that wasn't all that dirty, but I mean, I'm better off to clean it while it's out, then put it in and figure out that it's not doing its job properly. So I'm just gonna get that spring. That's what it should look like. A little flathead screw with a needle on the end with that spring on there. Now I'm going to aim the camera up and try and keep it up. Not that it's going to work, but try and get it to keep focus. 4.5. One, 2, 3. So about there. So I mean, yeah, obviously I'll give that a bit of a, tune it up and try and, keep it running properly. I would take that screw out and give that a bit of a clean, but I can't really be bothered, to be really honest. I mean, that doesn't have to look extremely pretty on the outside, and if you're wondering what that shaft is for, it's for, that's in, where is it? That's in 1960s to, I think they went into it around the 80s before they swapped that style governor out. So basically when that flywheel is going around, it spin, the flywheel goes around and then that gets blown out and then it throttles down. So it's that's fairly simple and straightforward, but so I've got that all rebuilt. So when I get new rings and new sump cover gasket, since that fell to bits when I took the cover off, I'll leave that carburetor there and see what else I can do while I have time to. Hopefully you can see that good enough. I mean, my hand's probably going to be there, but that'll be alright. But yeah, I'm just going to clean some of the gunk out of the bottom. This was worse, but I cleaned it out with my hand a while ago. There was like a good 2 millimeters worth of just oil just junk at the bottom. So yeah, but that was before I started YouTube. So go. Let's see if I can get around there somewhere. If I can get. There. Hold on, I'll be back. Couldn't find a place to put it, so I'll just, hold it and, try and get a half good angle. I mean, you should have seen the junk that was in it before. It was just horrific. Once I've cleaned all this stuff out, I'm probably going to give it a little bit of oil, just to keep it from rusting and just bits and pieces. Put a dust of crap on that. Yeah, I mean, I've got a bit more of it out, but I can't really get to too many places. Here's the original tank with that little thing, so when you want to have your feel on, you just twist that down. That does leak a little bit, which is a little bit annoying, but not like I've been using it. And that doesn't. Sorry about that. That little bit that decided to start spinning on the shaft. So, but yeah, that just does that. And fuel line, and I'll clean this out. So I mean the tank's clean because